the arm out like this at around 90 degrees. Now, what you want to do is you don't want to have a large gap right here at the distal humerus. You don't want that. But you don't want the olecranon on the table either. So you have to feel where the olecranon ends and have the person, when they eventually get in the proper position, have this olecranon free of the table, but the distal under the humerus is right there on the table. Okay? Another thing, not every table is the same. Some of these tables have some pretty sharp edges. These are pretty soft. But when we do this mobilization, you're going to see when we put pressure on it, we're going to really put pressure on that humerus. What runs right there that could possibly cause pain? And I doubt you cause an injury, but if you're concerned about it. What goes up right along the spiral groove of the radius? Right on there. Okay, good. So some things to kind of keep in mind. So let's have you slide a little bit more to your right and then lay on your left side for me. Okay, good. So when you get him positioned, I got him in a good position where he's free of, the edge of the table, the olecranon is. He's on his side. Now, one of the things I can do in addition to this, and everybody's different and every table's different, you're going to have to look at this when you do your practical, especially on those adjustable tables. You may or may not consider putting something here so that when the arm comes down, it's in a good, stable position. This might be actually a little too much. Okay. Good. All right. So we got something there. The next thing is you got to think about, and this is difficult sometimes for you, is what is the resting position of this joint? 70-10. So one of the things you want to think about is this, and I almost would recommend you do this with your patients sometimes, because you go, that's 90, that's 70, that's 10, and then you kind of get them out in that position. You kind of set them up a little bit. Or you could do this. This is full what? Pronation. This is full supination. So you kind of say, all right, that's what? Midway, and that's about 10 degrees of supination there. You can go about doing it that way, but this is something that you'll see students, they'll not be able to, in space, perceptually put the forearm in the right spot. So you might want to practice that, all right? So then the next thing on this mobilization we talked about was, where do you put your hand? Well, we're moving the ulna, not the radius, correct? So we want to take our thenar and hypothenar eminence of our hand, find the medial epicondyle so we're not too proximal, come over the flexor soft tissue here, come in like this, and you have, so my hands are set up kind of like this, and then what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, before I even do that, where's the treatment plane?
The ulna.
I don't know, I'm asking you. Well, it's in the ulna, I know that. But where is it? Yeah, so if you think about your ulna, and if you look at your book, look at that page for a second. Look at that treatment plane as it is in relationship to the sharp edge or the bottom edge of the ulna. What is it? Parallel, perpendicular? Looks pretty parallel to me. You see how the treatment plane is like this and the bottom of the ulna, they look parallel? You see that? That's important. So so would this be perpendicular to that? This would be parallel, right? So my force direction is going to be going which way? Like that. Everybody see that? So use this ulna as a reference point that the treatment plane is parallel to it, and your traction force is always going to be what? Perpendicular. Okay? So you're going to have your hands like this. There's no piccolo traction or twisting or turning on this one because that wouldn't do anything for you. You have your hands in this position. You take up the soft tissue, and then you just bend your knees, and I mobilize in that direction. Okay? Everybody got it? Look pretty similar? Okay, good. Now lay on your back for a second. Watch what happens to the shoulder. Sorry, but you got to come back. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So, got to get them on their side. Go ahead. Good. All right. Let's just start with this first, just to kind of get the arm position and the hand positions and stuff getting warmed up, and then we'll take this to the next